Hey friends, how are you? I really hope this finds you well. I didn't put my fancy table covering down, but letting you see the mess. Anyways, yeah, I finished another journal. Yay! um, so this is particularly a watercolor journal with watercolor paper. And I just decorated the front of it. And so I've had this journal since 2020. So most of it was finished this year, but there are some other odds and ends in there. So yeah, I thought it would be fun to go through it with you guys and share my journal. Yeah, it says, "Do all things with great love," was a postcard somebody had sent to me, and I just thought it was so pretty. So I added it on here, and then just some fun other odds and ends to decorate the cover because it was just plain brown. So I wanted it to look pretty. All right, so this is from 2020. This is our fireplace and our Christmas tree. So just a watercolor piece I had created several years ago. And then this one is from a trip I took. This was before the pandemic. I went to a local state park for it was like a knitting and yoga weekend, and I brought my paints with me, and I was just chilling there and I did this little piece. I was only there one night, so I didn't do more. This is from a painting class I took with a social easel. That was my first classes with them. It was all about sunflowers. That introduced me to her group, and I have been there ever since. And that was, it looks like in 23. It was my birthday present to myself, and I fell in love. And then this is just me, another watercolor class I took, like learning how to play with watercolors. So I have a couple pages of that. Oh, I missed a page. I'll have to go fill that in. I wrote down what the colors were, the abbreviations, and honestly, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head right now. Oh well. So this is wet on wet, playing with wet on wet, and layering my different watercolors, color bleeding, different ways of color bleeding. And then this one is from another social easel class. If you like this one, I do actually have this as a print and a card you can purchase. And then this fall church, same. I have this also as a card and print to purchase. And I believe this Merry Christmas one. These are all of those were from lessons from the social easel. And this Merry and Bright was with the social easel, but this was, I believe, a guest artist. This year, that was all 23, and then I didn't touch my book until recently, just with all my cancer stuff and everything. But I joined this Tamara Laporte has this last year, 2025, this was family gift to me, was a year-long painting thing called A Year of Light. So this was one of my first paintings from that. I'm also in an online art group, and each month we come up with a prompt, and this isn't watercolor, or some of it's watercolor. It's like a combo of watercolor and oil pastel, and I created this myself off of a picture that I found, and that it was a picture that's what do you call it, royalty free, so no worries. Yeah, so I think it was my prompt, and this was the photo I picked, and was all about like a starry night or something. That's to try and protect the other page, but here's I created this on my iPad, and then I printed it out to draw it on there. And I attempted to do paint to paper, I think it was. It was a challenge or something that came through, but I never did finish it, but this was some of that. And then this July, I finished filling it up. Yay! So exciting! So, this is from MJ Watercolor Studio. Great lessons online. I love her YouTube stuff. So it's Fall in Love with Watercolor for World Watercolor Month in July. So I think I still have 2 more days to finish, but I ran out of, well, I have that 1 page I can fill in, but I ran out of pages otherwise. So this was, we did our intro, and then we started playing with it, so trying to get them to bleed. And then working on more bleeding, as you can see. So 31 days of watercolor. This is just a flat wash. Pages are sticking a little here. This one is all with the details, so smooth gradients, so using the flat wash and then doing a gradient and then adding in, this is all watercolor, but you had to let it dry and then go back and add in more. This is a value study, more layering, learning to layer with watercolors. This is mix it up, so like playing with watercolors and making new colors out of them and seeing what I can create based on what she was sharing with us. So like Prussian and chrome makes this color, blue, violet, and saffron makes this color, so on and so forth. And then she was teaching us how to do different ways to do clouds with watercolor. I had a lot of fun with this. Thank you, MJ. Working on light source, shadows, and trees. So where's the light coming from? And then day 10, did another kind of cloud. These are wispy clouds. So we taped all the way around, and we taped the horizon line and painted the grass, and then painted some of the sky in like different, in a gradient, and then added in the wisps. All lessons from MJ. Learning about creating depth with shadow and layering, and some more wispy clouds, different technique of wispy clouds. This was back, but painted it there. Like this page was so wet I couldn't paint there, so I skipped over here. Then we started working on brush strokes and prepping to learn how to do different leaves and stuff. And then working on a wash with learning how to do more layers and some trees. And then happy little trees, doing some, and then we started working on water and how to do different techniques to make like painting water, calm water, and then making waves with watercolor. And then we moved on to flowers, florals. So some daisies and tulips. This was probably my favorite, is the line wash florals. So you put the watercolor down first, and then draw on top of it. So very loose, and then the lines create the flowers. These are transparent florals. These are a little harder for me. So very light, like very watery wash. Yeah. Here is this negative painting. So like painted around the white, and then so it was all layered. So you started with the flower, started with a really pale green, and then added a layer of the next green, and then the final layer, the dark green. And then working on hydrangea and a tulip and blending was day 22. So this is different day. The hydrangea was a day. I liked the hydrangea. That was a fun one. Execution got to work on, right? Then we are playing with loose florals and brush strokes and stuff, and then making white flowers without white paint. So adding shadow into them so you can see them. Monochrome florals, so obviously just one color, but using the amount of water to give the depth. Painting delphiniums, and then quick. What can you paint in a minute? So each one of these was a minute. So she'd say, paint this, and do it in a minute. And that's all. I still have a couple days left to paint for that, and you will see that at a future date when the journal's done. But anyways, thanks for joining me and walking through. Yay, I finished another journal, and yay. Yeah, have a great day, friends. Bye. Oh, don't forget, 10 o'clock tomorrow, or 10 o'clock Mondays, you can join me live for painting, crafting, jewelry, all kinds of things. Alrighty, have a great day.